The second good example is that, like I said, Islam spread. And if Islam was forced on people, then countries would be 100% majority Muslim.
What?
A good example of this is India. There are a lot of Muslims in India.
Are you seriously going to use India as an example? Are you seriously going to use India as an example for Islam not being forced? This is the worst example. Lady, they have mountains named after Hindus who were killed. Okay? They killed so many Hindus that they named mountains after the killing of the Hindus. Like, she's going to bring up the worst example. Are you seriously going to use India as an example for Islam not being forced? Holy crap. This is I thought she's going to be like, for example, I thought like she's going to say Indonesia. Okay. I would be like, okay, she's going to like bring an example of a country where Islam was not forced.
Somebody said in the live chat, yeah, she met an Indian and that's who introduced her to Islam. That's why she's using India as an example, for sure.
No, but seriously, like from all the examples that she could bring up for Islam not being forced, she picked the worst country. The worst country. The number one people who were killed by Muslim, who Islam was forced on them, were Hindus. Okay? Like, I honestly, I genuinely thought that she's going to bring Indonesia as an example, because that would be legit like a country that turned Muslim, not by force, right? She's going to be like, look, because Indonesia, Islam came to Indonesia not by force. It came through the spice trade or whatever, right? But she's picking the worst country. Guys, how many Hindus were killed by Muslims? Holy crap, this could not get any more ironically stupid. This is so wrong. Like, I'm actually genuinely butthurt over this example. The fact that she's using India as an example is genuinely like, I'm not even laughing right now. I'm actually, guys, I'm angry on behalf of Hindu. I'm joining Hindutva tomorrow. I'm joining Hindutva tomorrow because of this lady. That's how butthurt I am right now. Okay, I'm bringing. Okay, Hindutva, hold it. Where's my Hindutva following? I get you. I understand you now. Okay, this woman is making me join you. Okay, BJP all the way. Holy crap! What the hell?
Then countries would be 100% majority Muslim. A good example of this is India. There are a lot of Muslims in India. It has the second most highest amount of Muslims in the country, even though they only represent about 15% of the country. Now, if people were forced into Islam in the past, then that percentage would be much higher.
Oh my God.
Where does she get this data from that she's like, if it had been forced, then there would be higher? What?
Oh my God. Millions of Hindus were killed in the name of Islam. Millions, higher than any other group of people. Nobody has paid a higher price in blood to Islam except Muslims. After Muslims, it's the Hindus.
Yeah.
After Muslims themselves, the number one people that paid the price for Islam in blood were the Hindus. And this lady thinks none of it was forced because they failed to make India all Muslim.
Yeah.
Do we even need to address how fucking moronic this is? Isn't it not in the tens of millions? How many Hindus? Guys, where do I am sorry to any Hindu followings that we have. 80 million Hindus were killed.
This is a great example, though, of how people see what's happening out there. Like, she is quite representative of people that have zero idea of what's happening and what Islam does or is or has done. This is why I'm speaking out, because of this kind of crap that leads us to join this freaking religion. Like, when you have no idea, and you think, look, it's so peaceful, because like nobody's forcing anyone in these countries, because there's lots of religions in India, for example, and they're all living together. Like clearly she's never been there or knows any history, but I didn't know either. Like I was just as dumb as she is.
Turel is saying, this is what I was saying. I think a lot of Muslims have no clue about Islam being spread violently by the sword, whether it be regarding Spain or India.
Yeah.
Guys, you know, like when we say, remember the big H, the hala, right? The hala.
Big H is enough. We know what that is.
Yeah. So that thing, like 6 million Jews were killed, and then 9 million people as a whole, including the gays and the gypsies and the handicapped people and the homosexuals, right? And we say never forget, okay? And rightfully so. We should never forget. We should learn from history. But why do people? It's so easy to forget the Indians that paid the price in blood to Islam. Why everybody's like, oh yeah, okay, don't forget the 9 million, and we shouldn't, but forget the 80 million. Bulbul is saying, to be fair, not all Muslims in India were forced into it either. Several converted willingly because of the caste system, etc. But yeah, it was obviously forced to. Yeah, obviously there are many people, even at the very beginning, where Islam was dominating by force, there are people who converted willingly, okay? But obviously the people who are converting to it willingly doesn't deny the fact that Islam was dominating in a lot of countries by force. Even at the very beginning, okay, when Islam was like going over Jerusalem, took over Jerusalem and took some captured the Persian Empire, there are some people that looked at it and they're like, you know, they were trying to convert to Islam, even though there was not a push for converting people to Islam, because converting to Islam meant that you don't pay the higher tax, right? But there are people that wanted to willingly convert to Islam because of the higher status, the better connections, the lowering of their tax. So not everybody who converted to Islam was doing that with the threat of the blade on their neck. But to use those as examples for saying Islam was not forced, that is ludicrous, especially if you're using India as an example. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. There are many people in India who converted to Islam willingly. But Islam wouldn't even be introduced to India if it didn't come there by force to begin with. So the many people in India who eventually at some point they're like, hey, this Islam thing, I'm going to give it a try. The vast majority of them wouldn't even consider it if this was not forced on the subcontinent originally. Does that make sense?
People were not forced into Islam. It was a choice and it still is. Number 5, something, I don't know, a little bit more lighthearted.
There's an idiot in the live chat that's saying Islam was not done by force. So to that idiot, I have to bring some. Hold on. Some idiot. Hold on. Quran 10. Let me bring you some beautiful Quranic verses.
That was always a big argument, man.
Which one?
Whether Islam was spread by the sword or not. Like amongst like the other sisters in my Halakha group and stuff.
What did they say? What did your sisters say?
Some people were vehemently saying no, it was not. It was a peaceful religion. And some were like, yes, it was. And it's part of the religion. We just accept that. And that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly know Muslims who are proudly saying, yes, it was by force.
No, because we got to try to keep it looking good, right? So we don't say such things.
Hold on, is this the Quran? Oh yeah, I think this is the one that people used to say it wasn't done by force. God saying that let people believe what they want, because if they want to, if they are, I make the decision. Whoever I want to believe, I make them believe. Whoever I don't want to make them believe, you can't compel them to believe. Okay, like God already made that decision, right? So
No
and they're gonna,
compulsion.
there's no compulsion, right? So this is the verse that people use, right? Okay, and is this a Makki verse or a Medini verse? This is like a Medini one. It's 10. Okay, so and had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed all of them entirely. Then, O Muhammad, would you compel the people in order they become believers? Okay, so this is a famous one that is used to say, like, look, Islam is not force. Okay, but then you go look at something like this one. So this one says, fight against those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and his messengers have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth, which is Islam, from those who were given the scripture, which is the Quran. Fight until they give jizya, so this is the tax that non-Muslims have to pay, willingly while they are humbled. So technically, they don't have to convert to Islam, according to the first verse that I showed you. But that you still have to fight them, right? So you have to fight them, and to people who say, "Oh no, I mean this was for specific people at a specific time," the Quran is like, "No, this is the last day. The last day, capital L, capital D." Deborah, what does this mean? Yomul Akhar,
Yeah.
right? What does this mean? Last day.
That's the day of judgment.
The day of judgment. Basically till the end of time.
Yep.
Right? So when you say to the end of time, this verse specifically is telling you, so the Muslims who say like, oh no, Armin, these verses are for that specific war that Muhammad was in, and the people who were not Muslim, they were telling you that, they were against Muhammad, and he was basically, this was for that specific situation at that specific time. No, Allah is telling you to fight them. I fight those who not believe in Allah, not at the specific time, at the specific place, till the last day, till the day of judgment.
Only the way I was taught, you can only implement this if you have an Islamic state already. So you can't just, Muslims can't willy-nilly go out and do this stuff. You need to have the state behind you, and then you have like foreign policy and
but this is
their foreign policy, basically. Right there.
Yeah, like an Islamic state like the Mughal Empire.
Yeah.
But that justifies them doing their killing of non-Muslims, right? So it doesn't justify somebody living in London to go out and fight non-Muslims.
Right, just like a random person.
But this justifies what the Mughal Empire did to the Hindus in India. Right. Torah saying another problem is that Islam emphasizes the example of the Prophet, which the Rashidun and the Umayyad followed to the point by invading both the West and India. Yeah, I mean, the Rashidun could be making mistakes and stuff, so I don't use their example. But yeah, the Prophet himself, yeah, definitely, especially for Sahih Hadith and all. And Muhammad showed this in his life before he died, going to a Jewish city and applying jizya. Yes, jizya, guys. This jizya thing is basically an extra tax that non-Muslims have to pay, and they have to. There's hadith that says that they have to be humiliated while they pay this as well.